welcome back once again to Kevin Pollak's Chat Show. I am, as always, Chat Show. Happy holidays, and to you... You're not buffering. I've missed you. That's my way of saying it. We had a couple of weeks off, didn't we, Sammy?
We sure did.
What the hell?
You know, we had Hanukkah. We had Thanksgiving.
We celebrated the genocide of the Native Americans.
Absolutely. We celebrated the Jews underestimating the amount of oil they had.
Which, by the way, was it really a miracle? Or did we just... Is it possible that...
It was just somebody eyeballed it and went, I don't know, like a day? I don't know, 8 days, thousands of years now, presents and chocolate gelt.
We read the story aloud at Thanksgiving because my mother had swiped that Jewish calendar from the Roll and Rye Deli the day prior.
That's exactly right. First of all, they were free. I know that's hard to believe, and in fact, in the Guinness Book, but they were giving out free calendars at the Jew Deli.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I said the prayer when we lit the candle.
We said a prayer, and then Joey's like, and what does that translate to?
And I said, I have no idea.
Good job.
I memorized the Hebrew, and now you're on your own.
Yep.
But then, yeah, so Ma Fox.
Ran and got her calendar from
and Jaden were here for the Festival of Thanksgiving Lights, as it was known, and not again for 78,000 years. I don't know why this is a thing and everyone keeps harping on it.
You know, it's like one of those 11, 11, 11, 11 things.
Is that what it is, Sammy?
We're lucky we were here for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Yeah. Oh, gosh, I do remember 12, 12, 12.
Wasn't it the best?
Mm-hmm. 13, 13, 13 for some reason.
It's not going to be the same.
It doesn't work.
It's just not going to be the same.
Sammy, you went home for the holidays.
I did. I was in New York working and then just stayed because why not?
Oh, well, fans of this show know that you were in New York working because we, in fact, talked of you.
Oh, dear.
In your absence.
Oh,
and
that's
then
right.
Your brother Max was kind enough to get word to us through you.
There it is.
Oh, yeah, and then you started texting me.
Yeah, you were not watching.
I could not make it to
live.
the computer.
I could not make it to
I could not make it to a computer.
Because it's 1994?
To watch live.
Why exactly?
I had to watch in the aftermath.
With the family?
Well, they watched live.
Yeah, they're watching now.
You sent me a nice Simpsons quote.
They are watching now.
You sent me a Simpsons quote, I just don't remember which one.
That's all right. I'm glad we did some forensic work on this.
Yes, I think I was. So are you still, in fact, a person of interest? I think that's what all the viewers and listeners have done.
As of present, I'm not. As of present, I'm not a person of interest.
But you are
never
to
know.
us. But you are to us.
You never know.
Don't ever forget that, you son of a bitch. We were just in the Park City for the Waterkeeper.
We sure were.
Fundraising weekend, which is still going on right now if you're watching us live. Are you watching us live? Are you? Write to us at kevinpollakschatshow.com, you son of a bitch, and let us know how you do the show, as it were. I usually, which I did again on this one, tweet a clickable link to watch us live on the YouTube. But are you catching us on Earwolf, on iTunes? How does this happen for you? Please let us know. And you know what? Don't break a nail, but maybe subscribe. Would it fucking kill you? On the YouTube and the iTunes and the... Okay. I just put myself to sleep with that little pitch. If you enjoy our theme song by the great Brian Tyler, where's my notes on this?
Are you reading that for the first time?
It looked like I forgot his name, but I made a note to write to us about your submission. I'm going to start taking some submissions for a new theme song. Don't tell Brian Tyler. He's got awards.
Then he's going to start charging us.
And then he's going to start charging us, right. What was the latest giant movie he did? Was it The Fast and the Furious?
Well, he does the Fast and the Furious franchise.
Right,
so
but he did one of the big Iron Man or Star Trek.
He did Iron Man 3.
He did Iron Man 3. This guy's huge, and he did our little stupid theme song. What's a great theme song?
What are you screaming, Josh? Thor.
Oh, he did Thor, the sequel.
I forgot that Josh is his biggest fan.
I'm trying to figure out when I stopped going to see those movies.
Yeah, I lost it.
Avengers
was the one that lost me.
And when this thing was happening, this was the
Yes.
This was the
I'm sorry. I'm one of those.
Really?
I did not care for that movie either.
Where are the stakes?
And I went because
With the
everyone's like, it's
CGI
great. And I'm like, no, this is too long. I'm bored. What's going on? I only like Iron Man and the Hulk.
Well, we told Favreau to his face how much we loved the first Iron Man because he brought humor and humanity to the character.
I bet you like smaller movies about people and relationships.
Which brings us to our guest.
There it is.
Nice segue, Sammy. Thanks, buddy. I've known this man for longer than either one of us cares to remember. As far back as the stand-up comedy world of the early to mid-'80s, with the Gold Rush. as the kids look back on it and call it now. I fondly remember the time he was kind enough to let me actually stay in his home in the Boston area, which I quickly sequestered myself into one room to masturbate, which we didn't need to discuss here today.
We can't go into it if you want.
Please welcome Bob Goldthwait. How are you, sir?
I'm great. I actually found those magazines.
I know you did.
Yeah, I know. It became a really weird story, but we won't get into that. Thanks for having me on. It's very nice. Now, I noticed that I wore the wrong hat.
Because you're blending?
Yeah, it just looks like I have I have no skull.
We've done a little Hannibal Lecter work.
Yeah, maybe I'll go MOH. What do you think?
Well, we'll have to bring in Sam with some powder.
Yeah, maybe
we
we'll
might
keep
signal
it, yeah.
ships at sea, as Don Rickles likes to say.
Okay. I'll go like this.
No, you know what? There's some depth now.
There's a little depth.
Yeah, there's a little light.
We'll get a little bounce. I want a key light for my hat.
By the way, this monitor is not...
oh, it's not accurate?
Oh, no.
It's a whole nother show?
Every guest that comes in says, oh, I don't look like that, do I? And the answer is no, thankfully you don't. Yeah, it's blown out in that monitor. So I would like to, we don't go in any sort of order here, so I would like to jump to the present, if you don't mind, because I am very fascinated by your latest film. Are we at 5 now? Is this your 6th?
It's 6, but wait, you know, what are numbers?
They're numbers.
No, you know, whatever. But no, it's 5 that I wrote and directed, and then 1 that I did for Comedy Central that was a group thing. So.
Right, that was the Windy City one?
Yeah, Windy City Heat, yeah.
So the new one is called Willow Creek.
Willow Creek, yeah. That's the town that's near where the Patterson-Gimlin footage was shot in '67, which is the famous footage of Sasquatch walking through the woods.
What's the genesis of this one?
The making it?
Yeah.
Well, I went up to the town, and I actually initially thought I might do like a Christopher Guest kind of movie set at a Bigfoot convention. And then when I met these folks, I am fascinated with Bigfoot, first of all, but I thought like to make fun of them was really low-hanging fruit and kind of mean. Not that Christopher Guest movies are mean, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, as far as like a subgenre or subgroup that people cut slack or would say, hey, what are you guys about? You know, it goes like Comic-Con people, Ren Fair people, Al-Qaeda, and then Bigfoot people. You know what I mean? Like, people really don't go, hey, tell me more. So,
right.
You know, I went to a convention, and there was this guy. Most people in the Sasquatch community believe Bigfoot has a flat head, not a pointy head. That is some Spielberg bullshit.
Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah, they're very upset about Harry and the Hendersons.
Of course they are.
And so this guy had...
Most people are, I think.
The guy had a cardboard cutout of a pointy-headed Bigfoot, and this other dude walks over and goes, you disgust me. And he goes...
Without humor or...
Oh, yeah. He goes, look at that head. He goes, really? I've seen Bigfoot 3 times, and you're never gonna... because you smoke. So Bigfoot hates cigarette smoke. And then also at that same convention, there was a keynote speaker, and before he went on, one guy mentioned UFOs, and about a fourth of the room went, ugh! Like, who invited this nutcake? So I thought I'd make a movie that would be that, and then I just thought, you know, that didn't interest me. And then, you know, found footage is played out. You know, I always think, like, who found this footage? Who said, hey, I'm sorry your family got raped to death, but I think if I recut it, I think there's a tremendous picture here. Yeah. She would have wanted it that way.
Yeah.
So it is a found footage movie, but I kind of did my take on it. Hopefully that sounds pretentious, but there is only 67 edits in the movie. There's like one edit that's 19 minutes long. You know, that's just basically actors acting and.
Now, for the inexperienced, unfamiliar,
right?
When you say 67 edits to the unfamiliar, that still sounds like a big number. But in fact, let's compare it to...
a normal film has somewhere between 1,200 to 1,400 edits in the movie. So, yeah, so 67 edits isn't... So it basically really does look like the junk that was found on this camera. And there's no... You know, I'm not trying to pretend, folks, that this is real footage that somebody found. You know, there's no...
And it's a comedy.
There's a lot of comedy in it because I used the actors played a real couple, Alexi Gilmore and Bryce Johnson. They I didn't say to the townspeople, these are actors. You know, they just played themselves as if they were making like a YouTube movie on Bigfoot. Because I thought that would have been, not on all of them, some of them I did let them in, but I just thought that would have been a lot, it would have been confusing. So I'm not, you know, it's still kind of, it's not snarky, but it's still people just being people, you know, like, you know, one of the big heroes is Tom Yamarone, he's the Bigfoot Bob Dylan. You know, he sings...
What does that even mean?
Well, he sings and writes songs that are centric to Bigfoot history, and
of course he does.
And he's become my friend, but he's in the movie singing in a song, and I like... there's a beautiful thing Tom does when we were out in the middle of the woods. It's 2.5 hours down a dirt road.
Yeah, that was the thing I saw in the dossier I couldn't believe. You drove...
It's 11 hours from L.A., but then it's 2.5 hours down this dirt road. I've got 2 flat tires now going in. And so we saw 2 mountain lions while we were filming. It's funny, that 19-minute take, the first take, Bryce, we were in a tent, and like I said, we had seen mountain lions, and his character started crying. And I said, you know, I don't really think your character would cry. He goes, my character wasn't crying. Bryce was crying. Why aren't we shooting this in a parking lot at the hotel? And I was like, because this is good, you know. I was really nuts during this one. It was like, you know, totally.
Well, if you're in a tent...
Put that in the picture. That'd be great, you know. And he's like, you know, yeah, I was a little bananas on this one. Like, later on, I said, we probably should have packed things up when we saw the first mountain lion. But I was like, where'd you see the mountain lion? He was over to the right. Let's film to the left, you know.
Yeah.
Couldn't have been happier to be out in the middle of nowhere making a movie like that. I don't know why. It was really fun.
Yeah. Well, the scene takes place in a tent. Bryce is right.
Yeah, but
from an actor's standpoint.
Right, but I you know, they're hearing things, they're scared,
yeah.
and I just felt that was the best way to film it. You know, the movie's shot on consumer grade cameras, but with the sound, I actually did have a real sound team with me, and so all the things you hear in the movie are in camera, and often a lot of the scares they didn't know were coming. And that's how I did it, you know. They were on a need-to-know basis, you know.
Yeah, it's the need-to-know basis stuff.
And sleeping out in the dirt with a guy. Yeah, so it all, I think, kind of helped the movie.
Yeah, but for the townspeople, there was a need to know also going on.
But they were just felt like they were participating in someone's doc, you know. There was a ranger with us, and this is like 3 a.m. and like I said, it's pretty scary. But we're around the campfire, and he goes, you know, I'm a writer too. I go, oh, what do you write? He says, well, you know, Twilight. Well, everybody knows Twilight. He goes, well, I write novels set in the Bigfoot community for tweens.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, yes, he does. He tween coming of age stories in the Bigfoot community. I go, what's the name of it? You know, he goes, oh, the first one's Yeti or Not.
Yeti or Not?
It's available. You can get it on eBay.
Why did he give it a hilarious pun name?
You know, that's the thing. It's like, I think, like, when people are eccentric, I think people think that they're crazy, so they think they don't have a sense of humor.
Excellent point. It's the insanity that removes glibness. You can't be self-aware when you're truly crazy.
Yeah, and these guys are aware. You know, they do have a sense of humor. So it's
how great.
That's the thing, you know, and that's the thing I think that's in the movie. Like, I didn't want it to be, you know, like I said, I didn't want it to be making fun of folks. I kind of just capture what's, you know, be it if you love to race, model airplanes, and it's just for these guys, it's Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Here we come. Bigfoot in the Redwoods.
Oh, I found it.
That's the full title.
Sure.
And for the record, it was published 10 years ago.
It still holds up. Still is just as relevant. And relevant.
And a quick read.
You can purchase 33, new or used, from $10.
It's a page turner. It's a page.
Is it an autographed one?
This one does not appear to be.
This is on Amazon.
Oh, yeah, go to eBay. Go to eBay. Give me a signed
get
copy.
the autographed copy.
Please.
Ranger Robert.
What are we talking about?
Oh, wait. This is part 2 in a trilogy.
When is part 3?
Yeah. Well,
The big-
it's just like Twilight.
Yeah, there's the Bigfoot mystery, the adventure begins. Yeti or not, here we come, Bigfoot in the Redwoods, and Operation Redwood Quest, the search for answers.
Yeah.
Dear Lord, this man's a genius. What's
Yeah.
his name again?
Robert Lederman.
Leiterman. It's not leader,
Leiterman.
but with a T. Yeah.
Wow, fantastic.
Maybe maybe I figured out what I'm doing the next. I was gonna say the next 3 years, but my movies, I make them so fast.
Well, yeah. So
I figured out what
What
Joel
was the
Murray,
shoot schedule?
Joel Murray, who was in, he starred in God Bless America, the movie I made before. He's Bill's brother, Bill Murray's brother. And he calls Bill for advice because he's like, I've never starred in a feature. I never carried it, So I called my brother and asked him for advice. And he called him back 3 weeks, 4 weeks later. And he's like, he goes, yeah, I just needed some advice. And Bill starts giving him advice. He goes, no, this is a Bobcat Goldthwait movie. We wrapped a long time ago. It's very Ed Wood-like production.
Yeah. We've actually become very dear friends with Brian Doyle Murray.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna see Joel.
Because he's our neighbor.
Yeah, because Brian
Brian's
Doyle
our
is our
neighbor.
neighbor. We're gonna see Joel soon. We've been threatened. So all right. So give me some. So the genesis of the idea is you were always kind of fascinated. And
Yeah, since I was like a little boy when I saw the Patterson Gimlin footage and when I saw
And so there's
the photos.
how long is the footage?
The footage is only the footage of Sasquatch. I wish I knew.
Is it just the walking
seconds? Yeah,
that we've seen?
Yeah, it's probably like 15 seconds. There's guys who'll give you the frame count.
And what do we know about them?
About the Patterson Gimlin? Well, there's all different things. There's folks that'll
What
say,
do you know?
Well, I know a lot about them actually, but some folks will say that Patterson was a con man, and then other folks say because he was making another movie at the same time earlier, and there was a Sasquatch suit involved. It's a rabbit hole. One of the rumors is that John Landis, because he was friends with
Rick Baker.
with Chambers, who in Argo that John Goodman plays, who did the Planet of the Apes. They said that there's a rumor saying that it was John Landis in the suit, and I don't know John Landis, but one morning not long ago I said I gotta get to the bottom of this. So I sent an email to my agent and said, hey, I've got a TV show that I want to pitch John Landis, which is a total lie, and they were so excited, like he finally wants to make money. So they got his email. And I say, hi, John Landis, this is Bobcat Goldthwait. I'm writing an article for a magazine. Okay, that's another lie, but Sure. I said, there's a rumor in the Sasquatch community that that's you in the Bigfoot suit, and he wrote back fairly quickly and said, who are you writing an article for? No, that is most certainly not me in the Bigfoot suit. How did you get my email? And then I proceeded to talk to him about, he was very nice, actually, because there's a movie where he was in a Bigfoot suit. I mean, a gorilla suit, when he directed, is it
Trading Places.
No, but there's one where, this first movie.
Oh,
Schlock, I think it is.
No,
before that.
I think it was
like the gorilla
yeah.
with the TV head.
Schlock.
And that was him, so maybe that's where the rumor got started. So he was nice eventually. We seemed to smooth it out.
Yeah.
I am a fan of his, but...
he sat here he holds the record 2 hours and 52 minutes.
Oh, really?
He's a talker. And we love him. But yeah. By the way, with all of his history, it could have easily been him in that suit. So.
Sure, yeah. But he denies it, and Chambers denied it on his deathbed and stuff. But it's just I had one of the guys say something to me that I thought was fun. He says, I hope they never find Bigfoot. He goes, because it'll all be over.
Well, that is it, isn't it?
Yeah.
I felt that way about the Loch Ness Monster.
Right.
Nessie? Nellie? Nessie. Nessie.
Nessie.
Sure, Nellie sounds way too human. Speaking of which, that was always the thing about the Bigfoot footage.
Right. Shot by Abraham Zapruder.
Yeah, I was just going to
It's the
say.
same look.
I was just going to say. It's the Zapruder of the Sasquatch.
Well, it is,
Yeah.
too. It's probably, it's one of the most studied movies after...
But the difference to me...
Is that Time Life never paid for the Bigfoot footage?
Well, there's that. I guess there's many differences. Thank you for reminding me there's more than just the one I was about to
But
pronounce.
if you see the very end, you see
Yeah.
Sasquatch's skull flying.
Yeah.
And
Mrs.
Mrs.
Sasquatch.
Sasquatch jumps off the back of
Yeah.
the...
Missing frame.
Who, by the way, thinks that Jackie O was, in fact, trying to flee?
Oh, I got into...
Am I the only one?
Yeah, I got, that old Lenny Bruce bit, and I got in a beef with somebody over that. It's like, you would want her to,
Yes.
Yeah.
But let me...
It was a coup d'etat, people.
Yeah.
It was a military-style assassination. Right on the inside of the looking glass.
One of the better impressions of Kevin Costner's character I think I will ever hear.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, no, really. That was genuine. Just address this one. The reason the very first time I saw the footage of the alleged Sasquatch and instantly thought something didn't smell right was the casual human way of walking as opposed to any sort of mammal other than human would walk.
Oh, okay.
There was a casual swinging of the arms and the glancing back was even very human.
So that, well,
and casual.
But that's what people, argue is that it has human DNA and the...
Yes, but the primates, who apparently are a smidge away from our DNA, have no human
thing. Well, but in Sasquatch, we do the measurements and the flat foot and the gait is different, and it's a you could go down that rabbit hole for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
and a lot of folks do.
Sure, they're in the rabbit hole. Speaking of which, when they see your film,
they like it.
That's been the response.
Yeah, I was very nervous. I had a thing I called the believer screening.
Great.
And I was like, well, this is where the rubber hits the road. And, a guy in camo stands up. He's like, Mr. Goldthwait, this is the best Bigfoot movie since the Paris and Gimlin footage. And they all cheered. Yeah.
Oh, how great.
So I was happy. Like I said, I didn't want to make a movie that poked fun at a group of people that were already pretty made fun of.
Right.
But, and that was something, when I came up there, when I came up to Willow Creek, they were very nervous about that because I'm a comedian and I'm making a movie, and so, but I'm happy that they like it.
Yeah, I mean, if the Shakes the Clown guy is coming to make another one of his movies, that's all they know.
Well, I find clowns will like Shakes the Clown, but really the weird thing was I was trying to make fun of us. I was trying to make fun of comics, and not a lot of folks ever pick up on that.
Yeah, I read in the dossier research actually that you recently had attended a screening honoring your film, and you